to Box Free with Stephanie. Today I want to show you how to make some basic foods with simple ingredients from scratch, and I hope you discover cooking box free is fast and delicious. So let's cook together. Today we're going to make a lemon cheesecake tart because it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's a tart, so it's small, and it's cheesecake, so it's awesome. And so I'm going to start with my crust, which is 3/4 of a cup of flour, which I'm just kind of guesstimating. Maybe I should be a little more accurate, but that looks like I want just a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to compare it in here. Okay, I'm not always a good measurer, but I should be. Yeah, that's pretty dang good. Okay, so I am going to make a crust the way I like it, which is how you should cook. You should cook what you like and what your family likes. All right, so 3/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and then just a little bit of salt, like half a teaspoon or so. Oops, that's good enough. Okay, and then melted butter. I don't really have a good stirring thing. What do I want? Let's see. So this is butter. This is 3/4 of a stick, or 6 tablespoons. And this is a very small crust recipe. I like my crust very thin, so I don't make very much of it. So I have melted my butter on the stove, and then I've let it cool down because I don't really want hot butter in my stuff. And so I'm just going to pour that in there, and then try to get as much out as I can. And then I'm going to combine it and press it into my pan and pre-bake it before I do my custard, or not my custard, my cream cheese filling. Cream cheese, cheesecake, oh my gosh, can never say the right words. Okay, so this becomes like an instant dough or Play-Doh kind of consistency. And I think there are a million different tart crust recipes out there, and you just find one that you like. This one does not have an egg yolk, it doesn't have any water, so it's not really very much like a pie crust, I don't think at all. And I want that because I've never been very satisfied with my pie crust that I make. So I don't do it for this. I make more of a shortbread. This is really like a shortbread recipe. Why is my pan looking weird? Okay, anyway, this is my springform pan because I don't actually own a tart pan. I just do my springform. And what is, I guess it's just my butter. Okay, so I'm just greasing it. You could use parchment paper or tin foil or whatever if you felt better about that, but I just grease it and it seems to work. I'm just going to rub that grease right into my hands because I'm not really done yet. And then I'm going to just press this into my pan. And then I think that this crust gets very hard and kind of crispy, which again is okay with me because I like that it's almost more of a cookie, I guess, versus a pie crust. But you just make whatever kind of crust you want. So I just have to take time to spread this out. And this feels a little bit dry today. Maybe because I didn't really measure my flour so perfectly. But I have no doubt it's going to turn out just gorgeously. And you won't even know that I was fighting with a little bit of a dry crust. Because normally this is just like really like Play-Doh and really easy to mold. And I can go right up my sides. But it just feels a little bit dry today. So maybe I didn't do a good 6 tablespoons of butter. Maybe I was a little bit shy and did more like 5 or 5.5, who knows. But I want to take my time right now to press this out nice and smooth, and I'm trying to like push it out to the sides so I get enough that I can go up my pan about that far. I don't really do a very high crust. I guess because the whole concept of a tart to me is that that you don't have a lot of crust and it's really flat, like tarts I think are supposed to be flat. I don't really know. I guess I've always felt like they are. So anyway, I make this amount. If you want a much thicker crust or a crust that goes like way up your pan, then just basically double this amount. In fact, I think that's what this original recipe, when I found it, it had probably, it must have been twice as much because it had like 1.5 cups of flour. I remember that because I was like, I don't want a thick crust. So I changed the way I want, which is how you should cook. Okay, and for some reason I'm not getting very nice, I'm not getting a nice lip on my tart, which I think is just going to have to be okay. Because why? Because I'm going to put cheesecake in it, just a very small amount, and then my cheesecake will just be like, that's what you'll see along the edge instead of my tart pan, or my tart crust. And I don't think it's really going to matter. So there you go. I hope yours turns out better than mine. I don't know. I mean, it looks nice. It's just that I must have not measured perfectly because this is my recipe that I use, but I also don't make this very often. It's not like a weekly thing in my house, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to call that good. So there it is. And I'm just going to put this in the oven. I've already preheated it to 350, and we'll see how it looks without a nice lip on the edge. Because normally when I get my little edge, then I go around and I like push it down so it's kind of smooth around the edge. But I have such a itty bitty lip to do that today, I'm not really going to even bother. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to throw this in for, I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. Okay, now I don't really need to wash my hands. My thing's all full of metal. I should wash my hands, I guess, just because they're coated with all that stuff. Okay, that's good enough. Just so I can feel like I can use them. Okay, now we're going to make our cheesecake filling, which I also like this recipe because when I don't want a very thick cheesecake, I make this one because it only has 2 bars of cream cheese. And obviously I could just make a cheesecake and call it a cheesecake and make it a flat one. But it's kind of fun to call it a tart because it's just a little bit smaller. So I'm taking my cream cheese, full fat cream cheese. I totally believe you don't gotta, but you should use that. Just gives better texture and better taste, I believe. So I'm taking 2 bars of that, 16 ounces, and then I'm going to add some sugar and a couple eggs. I have had this sitting out for, I don't know, probably a good hour to let it warm up, because if you don't let it warm up, you just can't beat it and then it doesn't work. I've also had my eggs sitting out because when you're making cream cheese, you want your eggs to be basically room temperature so that when you go to whip them into your cream cheese, it's soft. I mean, not soft. Your eggs are warm, so the fat is soft and it blends in better than like a cold egg yolk. All right, so what did I do? 2 bars of that. I need 1/2 cup of sugar. So I'll do that. And again, if you think that your cream cheese, oh my gosh, your cheesecake needs to be sweeter, just add a little bit more. But cheesecake really is not like a sweet dessert, which is probably why I like it. Plus it's really rich, which is probably why I like it. Okay, and then I'm doing lemon zest, so I'm making a lemon cheesecake today, basically. So I have 2 ways you can zest. I have my little gadget here, which is like only a zester, and then I've got my fine grater. So oftentimes, wait, is this what I want to do right now? Yeah, and then I'll beat it in. Yeah. You just kind of peel this like this, and you get these nice, long curly cues. So you get like long ones, like 1 inch long. Oh my gosh, it smells so good, you guys. Just wish I could eat this. I am going to eat it eventually in my tart. But I do this way, so I'll do this one like this because then I'll have some nice, beautiful, long peels in my cheesecake. And then I'll do the other one to kind of show you the difference. And you just want to go on the top layer of your lemon You don't really want the white part. So you don't want to just like go and keep going and keep going and keep going. Like once you're done with this pretty much and you don't have any of that rough peeling, you just want to be done. Okay, so that's with the single-use gadget item. And then this one is, and I did wash these like by hand or whatever, with soap or whatever is what I mean. So this one is more of, I'll flip over my thing in a second here. This one I feel like is harder to control. See, like I'm already down to the pith or whatever. And see how like, oopsie, what's that red thing in there? See how fine it is? It's just like teeny tiny little angel hair kind of, which I think will be just fine for something like this because, you know, you don't necessarily want these big chunks of zest. But today we're doing one of each. So I'll feel like there's less zest. Boy, that's hard to say. Just because I won't see very much of it. But I'll know that I used my super fine zester and got my angel hair zest. Ooh, and that's going to be, it's going to be a lot. Yum. Hopefully it's like a nice lemon flavor. Because if it's not nice, it's not going to be good. I mean, that's okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to beat these. Hang on. I want to look at my tart shell. Because I realize I forgot to prick it with a fork. And I didn't do the weights on it. I don't know. It seems like such a hassle, so I never do that. So I just wanted to check it really quick because I only have 5 minutes. I'm halfway done. We'll see. All right, I'm going to beat this up. Okay, did you hear my little, like, mixer was just like, it was working so hard. Okay, now I'm going to do my what? Do I want to do my lemon juice first or my eggs first? My recipe says do my eggs first, so I guess I'll follow the recipe. Okay, and I'm just going to do them here just to make sure that they're all just perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Oh, and then you want to actually beat in each egg one at a time. Not sure why, but there's lots of recipes that say that, and they always say it, so I'm going to do it. Okay, but the thing about adding it each time is you just want to beat it until it's blended in. You don't want to like whip it and whip it and whip it. You just go till it's mixed in, kind of till you can't see it anymore, and then you're done. So here's our second egg. Then we're done with eggs. Then I'm going to juice my lemons and add more lemons. Okay, here we go. Hang on, I got to scrape my bowl because I am going to fold in my lemon juice, I think. I don't want to overbeat this, so I want to get all my sides right now before my egg is all beat in there, because then I'm going to be done beating it. Okay, now we'll finish it. Okay, I feel like I was beating it a little bit longer than normal, but I just kept seeing these little chunks, and I don't really know if that's a bad thing, but it felt like it was, so I just wanted those to be gone. So now they pretty much are. Okay, so now I'll just keep using this bowl. What the heck? I'm kind of going for a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Okay, so let me check this again. All right, hang on a second. I gotta just pull this puppy out and see how done it's looking. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so let's see. I'll let that sit till my timer. I got 1 minute. Okay, So I don't know if you guys are geniuses, but I'm apparently not. I guess I always drop my thing in like that, and then it never worked, as I was like, oh, the juice doesn't come out. Okay, I just discovered somebody so kindly told me that you'd put it this way, and then your juice comes right out the bottom. Okay, do you know how long I've had this tool and how long I have like fought with it to get it to come out so beautifully? Oh, I couldn't even believe it when she told me. I was just like, what? So sometimes you have a gadget and you don't even know how you're supposed to use it. So there you go. Then you get an inverted thing and all your juice is gone. So anyway, I probably shouldn't tell that story because it's kind of embarrassing that I like didn't know what I was doing. But I think that I'm probably not the only goofball that didn't know how to use it. So I'm telling you guys too, in case you have a zester and you've been using it the weird way, but you're probably not. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to measure this because I really don't want more than a 1/4 cup. Well, let's see if I can do this. Oh, and I grabbed my 1/3 cup. That's okay. It's kind of 1/2 of a 1/3 of a cup. So whatever that is, 1/6 of a cup. Who uses that? Okay, we're going to just dump in this amount because I think that that's going to be enough. I don't want this to be like too liquidy. Oh, my timer should be going off. 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm just folding it in gently because I don't want to get too crazy with my stirring. Is that everything? Flour? Wait, no. That was the crust. Yeah. I mean, cheesecake is like really simple ingredients. And people are afraid to make it, but you know, you just make it. And then you do a water bath if you want, but that's like the thick one. Okay, anyway, I'm changing the subject and I'm getting off track here. So I'm going to pull out my tart shell. Okay. And I'm going to reduce my oven. So it was at 350, now I want it at 325. Okay, so this is not really golden yet. It's very pale because I'm going to bake it again. So I don't really want it to be too brown. If I was going to just do like a lemon curd or like a pudding for a fruit tart, oh, I really want to taste this. So lemony. If I was doing, what was I saying, a fruit tart where I'm not going to bake this again, I would bake it a little bit longer. But because I'm putting cheesecake in my tart, I want it to, oh my gosh, this looks like a lot. Ooh-wee. I always think it's going to be like so flat, and then it's always like so much. But it's going to be fine because a 4 bar of cream cheese makes like a really good thick, tall, I should say, not thick, tall cheesecake. So the 2 bars should give me like that, I'm hoping. Okay, so now I'm just going to spread it out. See, now in my perfect little world, I would have had my tart shell go up higher because now I'm for sure going to have like almost my whole entire side will just be cream cheese. Which, whatever. I don't think it's going to matter. Ooh, that is so yummy and lemony. Okay, now I'm going to bake this for, I think I'll set it for 12, like 15, something like that, 18. But I'm going to start with 12, and then we'll come back and check it. So, goes right in there at 325, which probably hasn't cooled down yet, but that's okay. Okay, what did I say? 12? I guess 12. That's probably not going to be enough time. Okay, we will be back in 12 minutes when the timer goes off. Okay, we are back, and I always forget how long cheesecake takes. This baked for probably like 33, 34 minutes. You know, cheesecake is like yeast bread. You just can't rush it, and I always want to rush it. So anyway, now it's been cooling for like 15 minutes, so it's a little bit warm, but I want to just pop my springform pan and show you guys. So I'm going to move it over to here. So I haven't like done the edge or anything. I've just pulled it out, let it sit, and now I'm going to see if it just like magically comes off the pan, which it usually does. So there it is. See, you can see that already right now, just like breaking right there. So you don't really need, look at that. It's magic. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to use this to show you. So I don't know if you can see, but I have just a like half of it is my crust and half of it's my cheesecake. Because remember, I didn't have enough crust to go up my edges, and like it's fine. And then you can see all these larger pieces of lemon zest, which I personally like. So if you don't want that, then just do the fine grating of your lemon zest. But I think it's actually beautiful. So what I'm going to do is let it cool like more, because it's not quite 100% cool. And then I shove my little fine spatula down there and loosen it up from the bottom. And then I put it on a little serving platter or cutting board. And then I'll put my berries or my whipped cream and serve it that way. I don't serve it actually on this little metal thing. But this is still kind of warm, so I want to wait. And then it should release very beautifully. So that's it. There's your little lemon cheesecake tart. So thank you very much for watching Box Free with Stephanie. I hope you like the show. I hope you make a cheesecake tart, and it's the perfect amount of dessert for you, and it's delicious. I appreciate your time watching the show, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.